we want to do now is just go over the player profiles. You guys just saw their names. We want to give a little bit of information on these players for you guys. So maybe you can get attached, choose a favorite, cheer them on, use the hashtag #PlayPokemon to cheer on your favorite player. So we're going to start throwing up those graphics now. Of course, we just saw Diana. And we're going to start off, though, with James Beck, with Kangaskhan, Bronzong, Salamence, Thundurus, Kyogre, and Groudon. We're not going to go too much into their teams right now because we're going to do that before each of the match, I'm sure. But we can see his accomplishments right there, 2015, 47th at Worlds in 2015, which is impressive, honestly. For me, getting top 48, you know what? That's fantastic.
It is.
And then in 2014, he was top 36. Really, really good.
Yep, James Beck has been around. He's another New York player, so New York really coming out to Madison and representing your home state.
Yes, yeah. You know, I think there's 3 New Yorkers here in Madison trying to invade this region. But we're going to go ahead and actually we want to jump over to the next game. The players are ready to go underway, and we're going to go to the next player card for who James is going to be versing in this match. It is going to be Alec Rubin here with Kangaskhan, Salamence, Groudon, Xerneas, Smeargle, and Thundurus. And once again, those accomplishments, not as many as James, but second at 2016 regionals, third at 2015 regionals, and top 32 at Worlds.
Yep, these are 2 players who have been around, had some really good showings at events, as we saw on both of these player cards. So it'll be really exciting. I hope this match is just as good as that last one. I want to see 3 games here.
Definitely. I want to see 3 games. There's nothing like that third game, honestly. I mean, just remembering the end of game 2 for Diana and Tommy. Just the rock slide, absolutely.
We might see it. We've got another Smeargle. We might see some more Moody's, some more Dark Void misses.
I really like those Dark Void misses. I'm not going to lie. I'm a sucker for Dark Void misses.
I'm partial for Dark Void misses, too.
We're actually ready to go ahead and jump over to the players. They're setting up right now, and I'm really, man, it's just so hard to, you just have that energy. He's got his chess piece again, ladies and gentlemen, showing that strong.
He wants to be the king. I think he won this regional last year or got second, so I think he wants to be the king of Madison this year.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense why you'd want to come back. Yeah, he was second place last year, confirmed. So he doesn't want that. He's fighting for first right now for sure. And we see, of course, we're going to be watching this game from James's perspective. So we're going to see Alec's team on the stream right now, which is Thundurus, Xerneas, Kangaskhan, Groudon, Salamence, and Smeargle. This is the first Xerneas that we're going to see in top 4. I'm not sure if it's the last. I don't believe it is because Xerneas is an incredible Pokemon.
It is another Big Six style team with the tech of adding Thundurus for a little bit more control, a little more speed control, and a little bit more of a counter to opposing speed control. So I like that adjustment. And then James has a kind of a combination team here with Bronzong, Thundurus, Kyogre, Groudon, Salamence, Kangaskhan. So he can go for a dual mode, take advantage of Thundurus's Thunder Wave with his dual primals, or he can go for a Trick Room mode, very much like Diana last game.
Definitely, and I think something to note is that we're going to find out in this game exactly what the Bronzong is holding for James, but
usually Lumberry to counter the Smeargles. We'll see if James went with that same counter to Smeargle on his Bronzong to ensure a Trick Room setup.
That Diana did, because Diana had that. We saw that Lumberry.
Yep, and that helped her.
Definitely gave her the momentum she needed, or avoided too much momentum in Tommy's favor. Alec is going to go ahead and lead with the Kangaskhan Thundurus. So we're going to see double Kangaskhan on the field because James leads with his Kangaskhan as well as a Bronzong.
So the Thundurus threatens Taunt onto this Bronzong. Another item it could potentially hold is Mental Herb, which would certainly help in this situation. I don't know how either player's Kangaskhan is trained, so it's always kind of risky setting up Trick Room with your Kangaskhan if it was not trained to be extra slow. But since Alec doesn't have Trick Room on his team, his Kangaskhan should be faster, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough call. You want to get that information, especially in Game 1. You want to try to get that information so you can apply it to Games 2 and hopefully Game 3. For us, anyway, we're going to see Bronzong does those switch out, and James is going to bring in his Groudon, which, of course, is always a threat. I think that's a pretty good switch in because there's really there could be a fake out into that slot if you want to put it in
You also don't really need to set up Trick Room that turn, especially against a Thundurus that's threatening Taunt. If he doesn't have Mental Herb, your Bronzong's not going to get anything off anyway. Although you could have left it in and went for a Gyro Ball in that Kangaskhan. That was always an option if he's predicting the Taunt.
Yeah, because there isn't too much threatening the Bronzong. Like, there's no Groudon on the outside of the field for super effective damage. Kangaskhan, perhaps we've seen Power Up Punch a lot this weekend. I'm not sure if Alec's carrying it or not, but that would have been an option in that slot. But either way, switching in Groudon isn't a...
It's a good tempo play because Groudon's certainly a threat to both of these Pokemon. Thundurus can't really hit it too hard since Groudon, of course, being immune to Thunder Wave and Thunderbolt.
Definitely. We're going to see the Protect from Thunders and a Power Punch that I had just mentioned from Alex into James's Kangaskhan. So getting a good amount of damage, around 40%, and Alex Kangaskhan is going to be sitting at +2 physical attack. Kangaskhan as well is going to go for the Power Punch. So they're just going to trade punches here. You know, based off of kangaroos, they should be using their feet, but I like it. I can get down with some boxing kangaroos. We're going to see some attack boosts on both sides of the field. So that's going to be a pretty even turn, except that you said the
only
tempo.
difference is Alex Kangaskhan we saw was faster. So
Yes, potentially faster or won a speed tie.
True.
We don't know
it
yet.
Could have been a speed tie.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say odds are, if I'm James, odds are I'm assuming that Alex Kangaskhan is faster.
100%. We're going to see the Thunderous goes into that slot with a Thunderbolt, bringing it down to 22 HP. The opposing Kangaskhan is going to go for a +2 double edge into the Groudon, and it's not going to be enough to pick up the knock. Oh, is it going to be? It's going to be enough to pick up that knockout. I did not expect that.
It looked like it was just barely.
Definitely, and we're going to see James's Kangaskhan has the last move of the turn, a huge amount of recoil, but 100% worth it. We're going to see a return from Kangaskhan into the Thunderous slot, going to be enough to pick up that knockout after the Focus Sash, which is great information for James for Game 2. But, man, I would trade a Thunderous for a Groudon any day of the week.
Yeah, I was about to say James just traded his restricted Pokemon for a Thunderous. Thunderous is certainly good, but he lost his Groudon. We'll see if that trade was worth it. It always depends what each player brings in the back, but since Alex Kangaskhan is faster than James is, I'd say Alex won that trade.
Definitely. Of course, we can see potential Sucker Punch shenanigans as Groudon is going to come out and Primal Revert, but knowing that Alex, like you said, James is assuming now that Kangaskhan is just slower. His Kangaskhan is just slower than Alex. We can see Sucker Punch into that slot.
Yeah, getting Trick Room up this turn is going to be tough because Groudon likely has a fire move to take out Bronzong. So
a Protect on Kangaskhan wouldn't really, it's not going to help. Normally I would want to say like Protect Trick Room, but with Groudon on the field, Bronzong's probably going to go down anyway.
Yeah, unless it has Heat Proof, that could always be...
That's very true. That is very true. The move Heat Proof, of course, reducing the damage of Fire-type attacks by half. We're going to see the Kangaskhan is going to switch out, so wanting to preserve...
It's a good switch if it's Kyogre, yeah.
Yep.
He might lose the Kyogre, though, if Kangaskhan reads that and simply goes for maybe a return or double edge. Yeah,
we'd seen the double edge. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double edge into that slot. But Kyogre is going to Primal Revert, get rid of that Sun, so maybe, like you had said...
It might be James's only play here to get back into the game.
Yeah, and to get that Trick Room up, because it's kind of Kangaskhan can't really take out a Bronzong, even at +2. We're going to see a double edge, though, into that Kyogre slot. That's going to be huge damage, enough easily to take out. That's 2 of James's restricted mons going down to 1 Kangaskhan. And, of course, the Thunderous trade was part of it, but 100% worth, in my opinion, for Alex positioning, especially now because the rain is gone. And although without the Sun, Fire Punch doesn't hit as hard, if Alex decided to go, Alex decided to go for the Eruption here, a full HP hitting on the special side of Bronzong. It's going to pick up the knockout. Whew, that was a beautiful turn.
Yeah.
What did it leave you speechless?
I got no words. Alex just won the game.
He just won the game. Xerneas is just going to show off its fancy antlers at the end of this game because...
That game lasted all of, what, 3 turns, 4 turns maybe?
Yeah.
That just shows how powerful Kangaskhan is. If you let it get a Power Punch up off... I mean, James got his Power Up Punch off.
Speed, man.
But it's a speed. His was slower. He had no way to take out that Kangaskhan before it took out 2 of his restricted Pokemon.
Man, that is insane to see that. And it's cool because obviously we're in a format this year where we have all these restricted mons, but Kangaskhan, the mama, is still such a threat and such a utility.
For the future games, I'd like to see James kind of focus more on getting Trick Room up, taking it slower, because that high pace, that really quick kind of game, a lot of powerful moves being traded back and forth. I don't think you want to play that game when you're the Trick Room team. You want to get control of the field. You want to get Trick Room up. So I'd like to see James adjust in that way.
For sure. It's going to be... There was information given in that game that James can use to bring us to a Game 3. I think as casters, sometimes we... Whoever won Game 1, we kind of cheer for the other person just so we can see a Game 3.
Yeah.
just so we can see a Game 3 and bring you guys more content and have more time to cast. But that was... let's keep track. That might be the fastest game of top 8 right now. Like, it is right now.
It is right now,
But I'm saying
sure.
for the rest of the day, I want to see if there's any games that are as quick and as commanding as the one Alex just performed.
And keep in mind, Alex didn't even get any Geomancy off with his Xerneas for he just did it with Kangaskhan and Groudon, mostly Kangaskhan.
Mostly Kangaskhan, taking out 2 restricted mons, and then, of course, Thunder's there just kind of taking a hit as it needs to. We're going to see Alex, though, leads with that Salamence, getting the Intimidate off, which is really nice because James led with the Kangaskhan and Bronzong.
Yeah, Bronzong, I'd leave it in here. Let it get taunted. Go for the Gyro Ball on Salamence. I think that's what he should have done the previous game. Leave it in. Kangaskhan isn't threatening it. Thundurus isn't either. Even though it'll taunt you and prevent you from getting up Trick Room, that Gyro Ball would have been enough to take out that Kangaskhan much, much sooner if he left it in and went for it.
And the other thing to note is that even last game, Alec didn't even go for the taunt, so that might be in James's head as well.
Right.
A little bit of mind games going on here. Is Alec even going to go for a taunt? Can I just go for my Trick Room? Either way, I would just like to see the Bronzong stay in for sure, like you had said.
He can go for a fake out on Thundurus and set up Trick Room for free because there's no way Salamence can stop it, which I believe he's doing here.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case. Fake out doing around 35% to the Thundurus. Thundurus is going to flinch. Salamence going for the Hyper Voice. Bronzong going to be able to take that very, very well. Kangaskhan taking a good amount of damage from it. It looks like it's a critical hit actually on the Bronzong. So
doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
That's how bulky Bronzong is.
That's incredible. And then the free Trick Room that Stingray Rizzo was talking about.
Yep, so this is a good spot for James. Getting Trick Room up. Both Thundurus and Salamence are very fast Pokemon. We know his Kangaskhan is trained to be a little bit slower, take advantage of Trick Room. So Kangaskhan should be moving before Thundurus.
Definitely. We're going to see, though, the Thundurus is just going to go for a safe protect. Bronzong going for Gravity.
This is great. It sets up Groudon when it comes in. I like that play.
Definitely a completely free turn to do that, of course, because Salamence really isn't threatening the Bronzong, and Kangaskhan probably targeted into that Thundurus just to secure that play. And then a double edge from Salamence is going to go into the Kangaskhan slot. It's going to pick up the knockout, but like you just said,
he loses Kangaskhan here, but this might actually be beneficial because now he brings in Groudon for free. He threatens both these Pokemon now that Gravity's up.
Definitely. I think that was a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for a free switch in. I think it was worth it.
That's a perfectly okay trade, I think, in James's eyes.
I think if that was in the back of your mind, though, you could have potentially targeted down the other slot because you know that with Gravity, Thundurus takes super effective damage from ground type moves.
Well, if it has a Focus Sash, I think that's why he wanted to target it down. Since we saw it had Focus Sash last game, getting that damage onto it will let Groudon knock it out. And so now he can save the Gyro Ball for Salamence, and I believe a Precipice Blades plus a Gyro Ball would take out that Salamence.
That is very, very true. And then, of course, the Kyogre.
Although, actually,
it already had
damage. It already had damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, he should have just targeted the Salamence.
I didn't want to call you out on it, but I'm glad you saw it right there.
Yep.
But it's fine. I don't know. I guess it took damage from the prior turn.
From the fake out.
From the fake out.
Yeah.
We're going to see that Salamence is fully paralyzed. Bronzong is going to go for the Gyro Ball. I'm assuming onto that Salamence slot. It's going to do not much damage at all thanks to that paralyzed.
Since it's paralyzed.
Yes, and then a Precipice Blades is going to connect on both Pokemon, definitely taking out the Thundurus and securing a double knockout for James. Critical hit on the Salamence. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful turn for James.
It was really well thought out by Alec, though, because Salamence would have survived there, I think, without the critical hit, so it could have gotten some damage off. But even so, I think James is in a great position. Trick Room up, Gravity up. His Groudon's just going to sweep this, I think. Another quick game.
Definitely. You know, that's very true. You know, that maybe the Salamence didn't go for the Protect when it got fully paralyzed because Trick Room's up. So would it be the slowest? Would it be slower than Bronzong right now being paralyzed? Because it moved before Bronzong, so if it wouldn't be slower, then
I think Bronzong
would still be slower. Okay, so then he was going for that Protect right there with Salamence.
Doing the math in my head, I think Bronzong would still end up slower.
When you're paralyzed, your Pokemon speed stat gets cut by 1/4.
Yep.
So right there. We're going to see, though, Groudon and Xerneas do hit the field, but with Gravity up, with Trick Room up, James has commanding presence in this battle.
Yeah, this should be another quick game. Precipice Blades can't even miss because Gravity's up. Really, Alec's only hope is just Protect. Hope to get lucky with some double and triple Protects and stall out this Trick Room. But yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not, because we're going to see Hypnosis from the Bronzong. Of course, the accuracy is increased, not to 100%, but it's increased, and is going to connect on that Groudon. As James sets up a Swords Dance, not sure if it's completely necessary, but it'll secure the win for the next turn because Groudon can't Protect unless it wakes up. And Xerneas just used Protect now.
Yeah, I don't know if he really needed to do that because you reveal that you have Swords Dance for Game 3, especially since a Precipice Blades would have still won the game anyway.
Maybe a little bit of styling. A little bit of styling in top 8.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong. I mean, you're in top 8
and it's not like it's a bad play because this assures him the win here by just Precipice Blading this turn.
Definitely.
But you do kind of want to weigh that the kind of risk of revealing Swords Dance. It might not end up mattering at all because... You know, how often are you going to pull off a Swords Dance in Trick Room?
Yeah.
But
I mean, we saw that was almost like, it looked like a chess game right there for James. I mean, he's holding that king up.
It did.
It was just...
He played to his win condition in this game. He made sure he got the Trick Room up, played a little bit slower rather than just trading high-powered blows with his opponent. and it showed.
Yeah,
His Groudon and Trick Room really swept. Once you get set up with that Trick Room Gravity, even Hypnosis thrown in there, that's the style that James wants to play with this team. He wants to take it a little bit slower than he did Game 1.
Definitely. You know, thinking about it, since Groudon was at full HP on Alex's side of the field, a Precipice Blades wouldn't have knocked it out. So maybe didn't want to risk a critical hit from the opposing Groudon.
No, but the only problem is it's going to take 2 turns to take out that Groudon either way, either 2 Precipice Blades or a Swords Dance and then a Precipice Blade. So it takes the same number of turns.
Yeah.
But
Well, unless the Groudon survives and gets a critical hit on his Groudon, right? Or am I wrong?
yeah,
But what are the chances?
it would have to wake up.
Oh
instantly.
yeah, in a world where he's still put to sleep. Correct. Yes, I wasn't thinking about Hypnosis. I was literally in a world where Bronzong was just not even hypnotizing a Groudon. So
Like, it's a fine play. It's a good play. It gave him, you know, it sealed the win for him.
definitely.
But sometimes you don't want to reveal stuff, but I don't have a problem with that.
No,
play.
I don't have a problem.
It's such a small issue there.
All right, so now we have a 1-on-1 situation, so we're back to being completely 100% impartial casters. We have our Game 3 that we wanted, although these games, both those games, what's interesting is that, like you said, James needed to play slower. He did play slower. He played to his win condition, but the game was still 5 minutes, dude. It was still
yeah, like I say he's taking it slower, but I mean,
It's
it was
more
still
the
such a
move
fast game.
choices.
It's more how you approach the game. You want to ensure you set up your combos right, whether it's Trick Room Gravity, get Groudon in for free. He's kind of like playing chess, like you said.
Yep. No, it makes
He's
perfect
getting his
sense.
pieces into the right situation to take advantage and seal the game up, and that's what he did.
So I think Alec is going to need to have some readjustments here now, knowing what James's win con is and experiencing it. But
yeah,
we're going to see
one
it's
issue,
going to be
he
tough.
still doesn't know what this Bronzong's item is.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
So he's bringing in Smeargle. If it has Lumberry, Bronzong's totally safe. But of course, if it doesn't have Lumberry, James could be in trouble.
Yeah, it could be a very big deal. That item choice could come down to whether it's going to be a win or loss for James.
And if this Kangaskhan gets any power-up punches set up and Trick Room is not up, it could be another 3 or 4 turn game like we saw Game 1.
Definitely. What I would like to see here is, since Alec has pretty much confirmed that his Kangaskhan is faster, I'd like to see a fake out into the Kangaskhan.
Some Kangaskhan's have the ability to interfocus and choose.
true,
They'll
yes,
choose
and
not to Mega Evolve. Yeah, so
And that's why I'm not in top 8, man, right there, because I 100% would have done that and had to learn the hard way. Although hopefully I would have learned in Swiss. But we're going to see the opposing Kangaskhan does go for the Mega Evolution, so you'd like to see basically fake out trades here, I'm assuming. The
Yep.
strongest play from both players would be fake out on Bronzong and fake out on Smeargle. But we're going to see the Mega Evolution from both Kangaskhan, so not choosing to take advantage of that.
I wonder if
interfocus.
James, he might be going for an attack here rather than fake out since he's Mega Evolving.
Oh, that's very true. No, we're going to see the fake out from Kangaskhan, winning the speed tie. So up until this point, it has been a speed tie.
I think Alec just didn't go for a fake out with his Kangaskhan.
Very true. We're going to see the Dark Void come out from Smeargle. Is it going to connect on both Pokemon? It is going to connect on both Pokemon, and that is really huge tempo for Alec. Very good point that Alec just didn't go for a fake out. Got to keep that in mind.
He doesn't have Lumberry on this Bronzong, so...
Oh, so not going the Diana route. We're not going to see a Lumberry. I really wonder what item that is then.
Yeah, so now Kangaskhan is free to get power-up punches again.
And we saw how devastating that was in Game 1.
And Alec has the Smeargle out to protect Kangaskhan, whether it's more threat of Dark Void, whether it's Follow Me, whether it's Wide Guard, Crafty Shield. Smeargle can learn any move in the game, so I think Alec is in a really, really good spot here.
And we're going to see Alec withdraw that Smeargle. I was going to talk a little bit more about Smeargle and its happy accidents that Alec is choosing not to run because we didn't see a Moody. We didn't see any Moody indication at the end of that turn.
And this switch is perfectly fine. We saw how devastating a power-up punch Kangaskhan with a Groudon out on the field at the same time is, so that's a perfectly fine switch. I like it because it threatens Bronzong. Just in case Bronzong would have woken up really quick to get a Trick Room out, now he threatens it.
Definitely. We'll see if Kangaskhan does opt to go for the Power Punch. We're going to see the opposing Kangaskhan does go for that Power Punch into the Kangaskhan slot. So once again, Alec is going the Game 1 route with a little bit of adjustment by bringing that Smeargle and landing those Dark Voids for sure. We're going to see about 40% to James's Kangaskhan, and it's going to stay asleep here. But the real question is Bronzong. Bronzong is going to stay asleep, and that is definitely detrimental for James.
Yeah, Bronzong has been asleep 2 turns now. So the first turn where it got Dark Voided and stayed asleep, which happens all the time, but then it had a small chance to wake up this turn since it was its second turn.
Yes.
But it didn't. So
I think that was James's. You saw the distress on his face when he didn't wake up.
yeah, he needed a wake up there. And if he switches in Kyogre here for Kangaskhan, we saw last game a double edge is going to come into that slot and knock it out, or knock the Kyogre out when it switches in. It'll keep Bronzong alive, but you're trading a Kyogre just to keep Bronzong alive and hopefully get up Trick Room. It's probably going to have to be worth it, but here he doesn't even go for the fire move with Groudon. He switches it out to Smeargle.
He switches it out to Smeargle.
He read that play.
Definitely. He read that Kyogre switch, and Kyogre is going to problem over it and, of course, bring that heavy rain. So a beautiful, beautiful switch on Alex's side, and a logical switch on James' side, of course, not wanting his Bronzong to take a Fire Punch. However, it's going to be interesting to see what Alex decided to target. I wouldn't be surprised. I kind of just want to see him target that Kangaskhan slot. Another Power Punch will actually take out the Kangaskhan, I believe. We're going to see another Power Punch right there going into that Kangaskhan slot. So now going to be at +4 and getting rid of a Kangaskhan with minimal damage just from the first turn Fake Out. So Alex here with a +4 Kangaskhan. Smeargle on the field and no Trick Room up.
Yeah, that was the issue with switching Bronzong out, because he would have had a free turn there to try and wake up and get Trick Room up, but
that's very true, because that slot wasn't getting targeted at all.
So that was a really good read on Alec. I give him all the credit there for reading that and bringing in his Smeargle. But James is in a tough spot here.
It was definitely a tough spot, because if you wanted to, if your Fire Punch was on your mind, you want to bring your Kyogre in somehow, but
he's still in a good spot here, James. I assume a Protect will come from this Kyogre to save it from the Kangaskhan, and then Bronzong will try and wake up and get the Trick Room off. Smeargle can't stop that because it's already asleep, so it's not like he can Dark Void and reset his sleep counter or anything like that.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why Alex just switched it out, because there's really no reason to have it on the field. He doesn't need to redirect any damage right now. There's no real threat. We're going to see a Protect from Kyogre, and I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if we just see another Power-Up Punch. We're going to see a Double Edge into that Kyogre slot. Okay, Bronzong is going to wake up and set up that Trick Room, so James trying to fight back with that third turn wake.
Yep, that's big. The only issue here is Kangaskhan is at +4 attack. Sucker Punch is going to make short work of that Kyogre, I imagine. And the sun is up. So
yeah,
that forces Bronzong to go for a skill swap, but again, Sucker Punch is just going to take take out the Kyogre.
Yeah, we're going to see the Sucker Punch. Oh, Kyogre.
Kyogre's
going to live on 21 HP as Bronzong goes for a Hypnosis, landing it outside of gravity onto the Groudon. I believe Hypnosis has a 65 or 70% chance. I think it's lower than that. I think it's 65.
60.
60% chance as Ice Beam from Kyogre does come out. Going to connect into the Kangaskhan. Is it going to be enough to pick up the knockout? It's just barely going to miss with a crit. And Groudon is going to take a siesta on the field.
Yeah, there's gonna be a little bit of prediction going on. If Sucker Punch goes for the Bronzong, because James might try and protect Kyogre here and go for a Gyro Ball on Kangaskhan. Alec might read that though.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a mind game going on here, and this is game 3, so this is a deciding turn here.
There's so much on the line right now, guys. Regional getting into top 4. I mean, both players have performed exceptionally. We saw 2 incredibly fast games. I love the fact that game 3 now, we're already 7 minutes into the game. At this point in both those games, we were done. We're going to see James switch out the Kyogre, though.
Maybe even a Hypnosis on Kangaskhan just to prevent it from going down to a Sucker Punch.
Oh, yeah, that would be a really, really solid play, especially with that switch in, because now there's no attacking happening, just the Hypnosis, and there we go. But of course, there's the potential for Groudon to wake up. This is the second turn of sleep for it, thanks to Trick Room. We'll see right now. Alec is going to actually withdraw that Groudon. I'm not sure how I feel about that play, considering Bronzong couldn't do much to it at all, and you could have just gotten a free potential turn to wake up. But Smeargle is going to come in. Kangaskhan goes for a Sucker Punch. It does fail. Bronzong goes for Hypnosis and lands a second one outside of gravity.
That's big. Hypnosis, not exactly the most reliable move anymore, since its accuracy is now as low as 60. It used to be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But Hypnosis really paying off this game without gravity even being up.
That's insane. I think at this point, Alec is just in a tough spot where do you just risk the Hypnosis from Bronzong into your Smeargle and you just go for a Dark Void? At the same time, if you're a fast Smeargle, you're going to get outsped by the Groudon thanks to Trick Room, if you're faster. But we're going to see a Gyro Ball from that Bronzong into the Smeargle. I wouldn't have minded a spiky shield there. We're going to see a little bit of damage. Smeargle goes for the Dark Void. Is it going to connect on both Pokemon and turn this game back around in Alex's favor? We're going to find out. Groudon avoids the attack, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, that is absolutely huge.
Unbelievable.
And Precipice Blades is going to connect on both Pokemon.
These game 3s have been crazy.
They've been out of control, man. Out of control. Both Pokemon are going to get knocked out by a Precipice Blades. James taking all the momentum and stuffing it on his side of the field thanks to that Dark Void miss. And the double Hypnosis landing outside of gravity, dude.
Yep, that Hypnosis, especially that first one hitting that Groudon initially. I mean, both were really important. So there's really not much more I can say than James has gotten a little lucky here with both the Dark Void miss, his Hypnosis is hitting, but hey, that's Pokemon.
That's Pokemon for you. That's the excitement that we get. I don't want to say this game is over yet, though, because Groudon could wake up with the Protect this turn, and Xerneas could Protect as well and stall out that Trick Room. I believe this would be the last turn of Trick Room. I could be wrong. We'll find out. Opposing Groudon does not wake up and stays fast asleep. Bronzong is also fast asleep. Xerneas didn't go for the Protect here. Maybe just wanted to get a quick Geomancy up because Trick Room is going to expire this turn. We're going to see huge damage. Is that... Oh my goodness, Groudon goes down and Xerneas is going to take 60%. Do we see that Geomancy? We see a Geomancy here, but
it won't be able to take out the Bronzong.
And a Gyro Ball is going to do even more damage.
Yep.
So I'm a little bit speechless, I'm not going to lie to you. A little bit speechless. That was an insane game, or is an insane game. It's not over yet, but it's kind of over, yeah.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some kind of critical hit shenanigans going on.
Yeah, you would need... Oh,
and
no,
even then,
no,
I don't...
You can't do like a Dazzling Gleam.
You'd have to go for a Moonblast on Groudon and hope a critical hit KOs it. I don't even know if that will.
I don't think it will. I mean, and then he needs Bronzong to stay asleep.
Yeah.
So
even a critical hit wouldn't have KO'd. So.
Yep. So James
will advance. He's looking to win this year.
Yeah, he is.
After getting second place his last time in Madison, he's going for a first place here, invading from the East Coast.
Oh, is he also from New York?
He's from New York. He's from your home state. He's representing us.
New York representative landing 2 Hypnosises outside of Gravity, man. That is absolutely wild. Like I don't even have the guts if I'm playing to use Hypnosis. Like I just don't. Outside of Gravity, there's no way.
Yeah, the second time though, he kind of had to because he knew that Sucker Punch was going to be coming from the Kangaskhan. So even if Hypnosis missed, it would have kept Bronzong around longer because Sucker Punch simply would have failed, even though of course, as we saw, Hypnosis hit. So that sealed the game up pretty much.
I 100% agree with the play, but I know that for me, using the move in general is just so hard.
Yeah, it's always stressful using those low accuracy moves, but when you get to Hypnosis, which is like, I mean, you got like Fire Blast up here, Hydro Pump up here, then you go all the way down to Hypnosis. You don't even expect it to hit.
Yeah, you're digging deep, and it's just there like, you know, when, like you said, in dire straits, when I have to use this move, it's there.
Right, so it was good to have, because it's so powerful, that's why the accuracy is so low. So he was using it because he pretty much had to. He was in that situation. It was all he could do to really turn that game around, and so he recognized his win condition,
And he played to it. Yeah, he played to it. We saw that adjustment after the Game 1 loss. Another player losing Game 1 and pulling through. So both Diana and James advancing to top 4 after a Game 1 loss in top 8. So fantastic show. Fantastic show already.
I can't wait to get into some of these later games.
I know. Once we're in top 4, dude, it's going to be insane.
I love these 3-game matches.
It's 3 games. I love 3 games. So thank you, players, so much. If you guys can, keep bringing us those 3 games. Play your hearts out, and we can keep casting over 3 of them because it's so much fun. But we're going to go ahead and cut to a short break. When we get back, we're going to have, I'm sure, some more intense Pokemon action, so don't go anywhere.